Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Hataraku Saibu episode 4. Last time we saw the attack of a virus, and yes, as I said in the previous reaction of this series, uh, I never thought I was going to find the zombie episode in this anime. Yeah, I will expect it in any other anime, in any other place, except on Hataraku Saibo, because yes, they are speaking about the human body. But again, as I said in my previous reaction, it makes sense when you think that yes, what is a zombie and what is a virus. Anyway, yeah, it was very entertaining because it took the Journey's hero, the classic Journey's hero, for a cell. So they managed to apply, the writers of the show, managed to apply a classic literature figure into a cell of our human body. That is outstanding, to say the least. It is amazing how that could be done, because yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. How the hell can you insert that? But yeah, they managed to accommodate this figure in this episode, which was honestly so amazingly well done. I love this little cell. Of course, the joke in the end that yes, he returned to his weakened state because yes, it's another type of virus. But anyway, that is something completely different. That is something irrelevant. It was a nice joke. It was pretty neat, to say the least. But anyway, yeah, I'm just starting to ramble here, so yeah, let's just cut all of this and watch the next episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the fourth episode of Hataraku Saibo. Again, this series is fascinating for all the things that surround it, all the information that you gain by watching the series, or the information that you are forced to investigate to understand the series a little bit better. Because yes, with this one I always end up reading a bunch of stuff. Yes, most of that things I do not understand because I do not possess the specialized knowledge to understand every single bit of information. But yeah, I do try to do my research with especially this series because yes, there is a ton of stuff that is very, very specialized in in the series, and in this case, this episode is about food poisoning. We start with our kind of protagonist. Yes, the red blood cell doesn't appear much, or at least doesn't take much action in the in the general anime, but she always appears here and there. The one who takes more action is of course our white cell, that he's always fighting and he's always trying to stop an infection or stop an invasion, a virus invasion, and all of that. Yes. Again, it makes sense for the cells that we are following, for the cells that they are representing. The red blood cell, which of course it has no capability of fighting or against the pathogens that invade our body, and of course the white cell, who is obviously the one who is fighting said pathogens. But anyway, yeah, we start in the stomach, and again, this looks or kind of remind me of a very twisted aquarium. Yes, it looks more, well, I know it's acid, but it kind of looks like lava. It looks like, they're visiting the inside of a volcano. But what I mean, but I remember, or it reminds me of an aquarium, is the big glass, because yes, you are seeing the fishes, or in this case, the food being digested, and we learn a little bit of how the food is being digested. That thanks to the acid inside of the body, we got the digestion. Later on, we find out that yes, there is an emergency, there is a germ invading the body, and of course our protagonist, our white cell, our main white cell that we're focusing a lot in several episodes, have to stop said invasion. He runs, and we find another type of white cell. Give me a moment, because yes, I need to look up for the names, because come on, I don't have a background in medicine. The eosinophil, eosinophil, which is of course is not white as our protagonist, and I mean in the entirely body of white, literal white, but it's kind of more of a pinkish color. I don't know if it has something to do with how it really is not that white cell, or it has a different coloration, or I don't know. And of course we saw that this girl is kind of weak against one germ. She's been bitten. She's trying to protect the the rest of the human cells, but with not much success. So she is kind of not effective in this case. Our protagonist, or white cell, arrives and of course helps and kills the germ because it's just one and there wasn't much else to do. We have a brief explanation of the eosinophil, sorry, I'm still reading kind of quickly from my notes here. It's the eosinophil, and we're starting to see another kind of journey for our new hero. That yes, this is the hero that is not capable of defeating the bad guy, and of course the rest of the population of this part of the human body saying, oh, she's weak, she cannot even win against a single germ, so what can she do against anybody else? And yes, they are not very safe in here. Then of course we got our tremors inside of or very close to the stomach. I guess yes, this is very close to the stomach, and meet another cell, the mast cell. The mast cell is another white, kind of white cell that tries to protect the body from, the invasion of different germs and viruses and all that. And yes, this kind of a specialized cell kind of release a substance that say is hitsamine. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly because these are terminology, medical terminology. So yeah, correct me if you're a doctor and if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. And of course, what this does is expand the oh my god, our veins, the inside of the vein. It's I don't remember that the wall. So yeah, it makes it bigger for the rest of the white cells, or more white cells can pass and arrive to the problematic area. Yeah, we don't see much of her, and we continue with the story. Then, of course, we found another cell. Oh god, so many new names, man. It's a lot. The basophil, I think it is. Yes, basophil. Yes, the basophil. Sorry. Yes, the basophil, which, according to the own anime, we don't know much about. We don't know much of the functions of this cell. But what I read from Wikipedia, it's kind of similar to our last cell, the mast cell. My guess is there is a small difference between each other. I don't know which one is this. I really could not find it. And there is a ton of medical terminology here. So yeah, my guess, there is a difference, but I cannot find a difference. Or at least I cannot understand the difference between the mast cell and the basophil. We continue, and it's kind of, my guess is kind of fitting because according to the own anime, not much is known about this new cell. So he kind of speaks in a very cryptic way, and we cannot see his face because yes, every single cell we have seen, with the exception of the people that kind of create the sandwiches, we have seen their faces, every single one of them. But not this one. And yes, it's kind of mysterious. We don't know much about it, or at least I don't know much about it. And I don't know if modern medical science knows much about this type of cell. Anyway, we saw that, and we are treated with another invasion. A germ invasion, a very massive, a huge germ. And honestly, at the beginning, the first shot of this germ, I thought that the little minions that he had were part of his arms, like kind of like puppets. At least that's what it looks like. Oh yes, he has like puppets. Okay, sure, whatever. But no, those are actually kind of minions. My guess is a smaller version of himself or something like that. So yeah, that's he's kind of releasing once inside of the host or something like that. That is something I understand. From what I have read, again, I do read a lot of stuff here. Usually the germs and the viruses are smaller than the white cells on our body, so they can kind of eat them. I think this is the best term that we can come up with. That yes, they kind of surround it and eat the freaking bacteria and all that, yes. But this one is really huge. I don't know. Perhaps this germ is really big, and that is kind of way to represent this. Of course, he has been dealt with really easy, relatively easy. There is not much problem with him, and of course, this is not the end of it. Again, continuing with the journey of our hero in this episode, the eosinophile, sorry. The eosinophile is being again treated poorly because everybody is saying, "Oh, she's so weak. Oh, she cannot beat anybody else. Why she is here? She is useless," and all of that. Yes. So again, I was thinking during the reaction, there must be a reason why this type of cell exists. Because our body doesn't do everything randomly. Yes, perhaps at the beginning with our evolution and all that. But after years and years and millions of years or thousands of years, yes, we kind of tend to do the things correctly just by basically try and error. So yeah, that's how kind of evolution works. Of course, this is an oversimplification of what real evolution is, but anyway. We continue to see this, that really this is kind of a weak white cell, but of course the problems are not over. In one of the kind of facilities that look out for the rest of the body, that controls, in this case, the stomach part of the body, saying, "Oh, there's too much damage for a small germ." I wouldn't call it small because the thing was huge, as we can saw back then. But of course he said, "No, there is too much damage. There is something else," and that is when I said, "Okay, this is the thing that she's about to be attacking." And of course we saw the real danger of this episode, a gigantic parasite. Once again, I start to read about this type of stuff while I was investigating. That yes, the parasite, we saw a huge creature that just by its roar is capable of pushing away the white cells, and of course they are not capable of fighting effectively against this massive creature that of course they have no idea how they are going to defeat. And yes, I did a little bit of reading about parasites too, and according to Wikipedia again, no, this is not Wikipedia, sorry, this is Medical's News Today, another site that I found, one of the first one when I type parasite in Google. According to them, they have three types. The protozoa, which are single-celled organisms known as plasmodium. A protozoa can only multiply or divide within the host. This is the first type. Then we have the Heminthes? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Again, it's medical terms, guys. These are worm parasites. This caused by helminth. Other examples include a roundworm, a pinworm, trichina, spirals, tapeworms, and fluke. And we have our third type, the ectoparasites. These live on the host, not in the host. So yeah, it's like lees and fleas. So yeah, we have the different types of parasites. My guess is kind of the one we're seeing in the anime is kind of the helminths parasites. That's what I guess, because yes, it looks like kind of a worm, a very huge worm, a gigantic worm. And of course, this parasite is causing the vomit and all that, because yes, we saw that just the expulsion, because even the freaking barrier that says there, it's kind of regurgitation with another name for, well, the vomit, what the spewing, all this stuff. So yeah, that's what is going on. But of course, the white cells again are not capable of defeating these guys, and this is of course what I was waiting for: the usefulness of this new white cell, the eosinophile. And this is what we saw, that yes, this is a white cell, so therefore it must be ready to fight against germs, the small ones. But the speciality of these type of cells is to fight against parasites, because again, the germs and the viruses are smaller than our white cells, so that's why they are capable of defeating the freaking the germs and viruses. But the parasites are a lot bigger because yes, we saw that this thing is gigantic. It's huge. So we must take a different approach in here. And yes, this is not something I'm entirely sure because again I read it, but this is still kind of unclear for me because there is a ton of stuff I do not understand, guys. It's really complicated to see this, well, in the anime she just launched herself and kind of grabs the trident, well, the trident, kind of the fork, the giant fork, because yes, this is not a trident, it doesn't have three things. But yeah, she launches and kind of attacks the head of the freaking parasite and it stays there with him. I don't know why, I don't know what this represents, if this is something similar to what is really going on within our body. Of course, our cells don't have tridents or anything of the like, but my guess is they kind of attach to them and perhaps devour them little by little, or release something. I'm not sure about that. Perhaps is that the way, because again, this is a gigantic creature. And yes, it is, well, what I read is there is one, there are just one cell working in a parasite, but the other parasites are bigger and pluricelluloids, I don't know if that is the correct term, but they have a bunch of cells. It's not just one, there are a bunch of cells, the parasites, like that, because yes, a flea is not a single cellular. Imagine the size of the freaking cell if it could be that big. But anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, my guess it has something to do with that. They attach themselves and do something to the parasite. But of course, the end of the anime is now that we saw the recognition of our new hero, of our new white cell. That yes, everybody was criticizing her because she was weak and she couldn't deal with one single small germ. Is just now praising her because yes, now she deals with the biggest freaking threat they have seen before. This gigantic creature. For them, of course. Again, we have to remember we are speaking in a very microscopic scale. And yes, I love the adorable faces that this girl do. Yeah, she's doubting herself because, well, all the commentaries that were said in the past, I don't think this is happening obviously in the body because it's something completely different. But I love again the journey of our character. That yes, we start with an insecure person that, oh my god, I need to do my job but I'm not pretty good at that. And it doesn't matter. But in the end, it doesn't matter if I believe or I don't believe that I'm good at work. This is my job and I need to do it. I need to defend the cells against this gigantic parasite in this gigantic monster. So yeah, I love that journey of our hero, of our small hero, and I love how adorable she looks when she's just embarrassed for all the attention that she's getting, thanks to her defeat of this gigantic creature. Yeah, it is a very entertaining episode, and of course we end up with one of our cryptic messages for the Bisophil. Again, these names, man. Basophil, not Biso, Basophil. So yeah, it is. Yeah, we end up in that note with the cryptid message. This episode, again, it's every single episode of Cells at Work of Hataraku Saibo is really complicated to understand, really complicated to get. But it's fascinating because of the amount of knowledge that you gain from said episode. I didn't know a ton of stuff before watching the anime. Now, thanks to this anime, I understand there are different type of white cells. For example, I really thought there was just one. I understand the difference between germs, parasites, and all that, viruses. The similitude, the different type of ways that the body defends itself. I just knew a couple. I was not an expert. I knew of the white cells, but again, I just thought it was one, and of course the mucus or all that. But I did not understand a lot of the stuff that is being said here. So yeah, it is genuinely fascinating, and I love this anime because it is, when I say that it's forcing me to investigate, when it's forcing me to read about all the stuff that is happening in the episode, it's not because, oh no, I have to read it, oh no, I really should not be doing this, oh no, this is a chore. No, it's because I am so fascinated by the story within this anime that I need to learn more about the characters. Yes, the characters of this anime are cells in my own body, but that's what makes it fascinating. Yes, they make a certain characterization of my cells that make me fascinated and want me, what they make me wanted to know more about my own self, which is something commendable. So yeah, when I said force, is because I am so intrigued that I want to know more about this animation. Anyway, yeah, I'm still to ramble it again. This has been another fascinating episode, another great amount of information given to me, a lot new information about my own body. So yeah, I think I genuinely exhausted the topic of this episode, and yes, the research I did. So yeah, guys, the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention, and well, see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.